In a small village beside a quiet river, there lived a man named Martin. He was 40 years old, and he sold milk for a living. Every morning, long before sunrise, he would wake, milk his 3 cows, and carry the milk to the village market in 2 heavy wooden pails. Martin was not a happy man. His shoulders were always a little stooped, his face always a little tired. His business was failing, his cows were growing weak, and one by one, his customers were leaving him. One warm summer morning, as he walked the worn dirt road to the market, a wheel of his cart cracked and gave way. The cart tipped, both pails rolled into the ditch and shattered, all the milk soaked into the dusty road. Martin sat down right there in the dirt and held his head in his hands. "Why does this always happen to me?" he whispered. "I must be cursed." An elderly woman passing by with a basket of bread stopped beside him. "Young man," she said gently, "why cry over spilled milk?" "My whole day's work is ruined," Martin snapped. The old woman only smiled. "Tell me, when did you last check the wheels of your cart?" Martin fell silent. I don't remember," he admitted. "Maybe never." "Then whose mistake is this?" she asked quietly. "Yours or fate's?" And she walked on, leaving him with the question. Martin knew, somewhere deep down, that she was right. He had never oiled the wheels, never checked them for cracks, but instead of learning from it, he went home angry, blaming the man who built the cart. Weeks passed, and his business only grew worse. Then one day, a wealthy merchant came to him with an offer. "I need fresh milk delivered to my house every single day." The merchant said, "Can you bring me 20 liters?" Martin's heart leapt. "Yes, sir," he said. "I will bring you the very best milk." But his 3 cows gave only 15 liters a day, and a small, dangerous thought crept into his mind. "I will add a little water, just a little." He will never know. For many days, it worked. Martin earned good money, and he began to think himself clever. Then, one evening, the merchant's elderly mother fell ill. The physician said she needed pure, strong milk to recover. So the merchant tested what Martin had delivered and found it watered down. He summoned Martin before the gathered villagers. "You cheat," he shouted. "I trusted you, and my mother is sick because of your dishonest milk. I will never buy from you again, and I will make sure no one else does either." Martin's face burned with shame. Word spread through the village like fire. One by one, his remaining customers turned away. That night, unable to sleep, Martin packed a small bag. "I will go to the city," he told himself. "No one there knows my name. I can start fresh." He set out the next morning on the long journey. By midday, deep in the forest, a heavy rain began to fall. He ran for shelter beneath a great old tree, where a young traveler was already waiting out the storm. "Terrible weather," the young man said. "I'm heading to the city myself to find honest work." The rain grew heavier, and then, without warning, they heard a deep cracking sound above them. "The tree," the young man shouted. "It's falling." They threw themselves clear just as the great trunk crashed down exactly where they had been standing. The young man stared at the fallen tree, breathing hard. "Look," he said. "The inside, it's completely hollow, rotten through." It looked so strong from the outside. Martin stared at the broken trunk for a long moment. "Just like my life," he thought. "From the outside, I looked like an honest milk seller, but inside, I was rotten with my own lies. And just like this tree, I fell." As they walked on together, the young man shared his own story. "I worked in a bakery," he said. "I stole my master's recipe and opened my own shop. Business was good at first, but I didn't know all his secrets. My shop failed within the year. Now I'm going to learn the trade properly, from the beginning." That evening, they reached a small village where an old priest offered them food and shelter at the chapel. After they had eaten, Martin found himself telling the old man his entire story: the broken cart, the watered milk, the shame, the long road away from home. The priest listened without a word of judgment. "Let me tell you mine," he said quietly. Many years ago, I was a careless farmer. I never cleared the weeds from my fields, never tended the soil properly. When harvest came, I had almost nothing. I blamed the weather, the soil, everyone but myself. Then, one year, a terrible drought came, and every last crop died. I sat beneath a tree and wept for days. But then, he continued, I stopped weeping, and I started thinking. I saw, for the first time, every mistake I had made. That drought was never my enemy. It was my teacher. So I became a student again. I worked under an old farmer for 5 long years and learned everything from the very beginning. When I finally had land of my own, I used everything that hardship had taught me, and the harvest was the best the village had ever seen. Remember this, the old man said, looking into Martin's eyes. Failure is not your enemy. It is your best teacher, but only if you are willing to learn. That night, Martin lay awake for hours, staring at the ceiling, the broken cart, the watered milk, the merchant's sick mother, the customers he had lost, the rotten tree. Slowly, quietly, he made his decision. He would not go to the city. He would go home and face every single person he had wronged. The journey back took 2 more days. When he finally walked through his own door, his wife stared at him in disbelief. You came back, she said. Yes, Martin answered softly. I am done running. I'm going to make this right. The next morning, he went straight to the merchant's house. Sir, I am deeply sorry for what I did, he said. I cheated you, Tom, and I put your mother's health at risk. I was wrong, and I have no excuse. Then he went, one by one, to every customer he had lost, and he apologized. Most turned him away. Some shouted at him, but he kept going, and he kept apologizing until there was no one left. After that, Martin began to work differently. He repaired his cart properly. He cared for his cows with real tenderness, cleaning their shed each morning, feeding them well. Their milk grew richer, purer. He never, not once, added a single drop of water again, even on the days when he had far less to sell. Slowly, very slowly, word began to spread. Martin has changed, people whispered. His milk is honest now. Old customers began testing him, buying small amounts at first, watching closely, and months later, the merchant himself sent for him. I have been watching you, the merchant said. I tested your milk 3 times, secretly, and each time it was pure. I believe you have truly changed. Will you supply my household again? Martin's eyes filled with tears. Yes, sir, he managed to say. Thank you for giving me another chance. From that day forward, his life slowly transformed. Whenever something went wrong, he no longer asked why this always happens to him. Instead, he asked, what can I learn from this? His business grew, not quickly, but steadily. And over the years, Martin became one of the most trusted milk sellers in the entire region. Years later, a young seller asked him the secret of his success. Martin only smiled. There is no secret, my friend, he said. I failed many times, and I lost almost everything. But I learned that failure is not the end of the road. It is a teacher standing at the beginning of a better one. I stopped running from my mistakes. I faced them. I learned from them. And that made all the difference. That evening, Martin looked up at the darkening sky, remembering the broken cartwheel, the rotten tree, the old priest's gentle words, and the long road that had changed everything. Thank you, he whispered, for teaching me that the greatest success comes only after the hardest lessons. This story reflects something universal. Many of us have felt the shame of our own mistakes and the fear of facing them. But every failure, however heavy, carries a lesson inside it, waiting to be found.